Hey guys, look what I got. That's right, I got the new E-flite Draco, and in this video we're going to unbox it. We're going to take a look at all the parts and pieces, and then at the end we're going to wrap things up with our pros and cons. Coming up next, we're going to see what's going on inside the box. This is a look at some of the stuff that I found in the top section of the box. Got a tail wheel, different accessories, the back windshield, or maybe even the front windshield. I'm not positive. This prop looks way bigger than I thought it was going to in person. Got the spinner, got the tires, got the horizontal stabilizer. One thing that I did notice right out of the gate on somewhat critical points, plastic. Lots of plastic is being used where I would have chosen something stronger. I know weight's a consideration, but as big as this plane is, come on guys, seriously. All right, then we've got the leading edge slats, and then we've got a very nice big ribbed carbon spar. Okay, coming up next, I'm going to show you the next layer. Okay, so here's a look at the wings. Couple things to note. This piece of wood is broken. Luckily, it's not critical, but it tells you that this package got beat up by FedEx. FedEx, you suck. Not Horizon Hobby's fault. And a couple dents in the foam. So if you're expecting this to be smooth and flawless at that $600 price range, like composite, you're probably going to be underwhelmed. But those of us that are used to foam, that's just one of those things that you got to deal with. Foam is not perfect. Coming up next, we are going to take a look at the next section. Okay, so here's a look at the landing gear. And that looks kind of cool. We'll take a closer look at that once it's assembled, because I'm not really entirely sure how that goes together. And of course, this is the fuselage. And it is huge, guys. Very huge. And I'm hoping that the red is represented well in here. Red isn't always represented well in here with the bright studio lights, but outside it'll pop, which is awesome. So with all that being said, I'm going to assemble this thing, and when I get back, I'm going to report back and let you know how it went. This is what you've been waiting for. We've got the prop assembly right here, which is nice. We've got the front landing gear, lots of springs in motion on this thing, which is really cool. We should definitely see that on the maiden flight once we're able to get out and fly it. And back here we've got the horizontal stabilizer. One thing I did not do was put in it the antenna, any antennas anywhere, and I did not install the steps. I will do that stuff later after the maiden flight is complete. Those are things you can add or choose to not add depending on where you plan to store it, how you plan to store it, and how you plan to transport it. This is what it looks like with the wings installed, and we're going to do a quick demo here. Let's see, you can see the ailerons there, and you see the rudder mix right there. Here is the elevator, of course. There is the rudder in all of its glory. And let's do a very measured prop spin. Oh, now if you downloaded the file, I can't remember what that extension name is. I did for the iX12 because this is brand new to me. And I've had it for a while, but I've never actually used it or programmed it, and it's very different than my DX6. So make sure, by default, they add the throttle cut, and make sure that you take that off if you want to make that prop spin. If you don't, then you're golden. If not, you got to hit that throttle cut. I'm giving this barely anything. Throttle at 18, and this thing has the brake installed. Now, the gear switch, I believe that's the A switch right here. You switch that, and that's if you use that file that I did. Then you blow air forward. And that will push it backwards. I'm not going to risk damaging anything. One of my foam pieces just fell down from the wind generated from that. So this is definitely generating a lot of thrust, which is awesome. And we're going to come back. I'm going to show you what it looks like completely dark with this beast. Now I'm going to show you how the lights look in the darkness. As you can see, it is completely black except for Mike Patey there in the canopy. This is the brightest setting. It's got all the lights on, including lights under the wings, navigation lights. Some of those aren't in this frame, and I apologize for that, but I think you can tell some of the illumination, just the way it went from dark to not. The other setting has that powerful bright backup light, which is fantastic. The light settings on this are awesome. There are a lot more settings you can do as well, but these 3 primary settings will work just fine for me. And coming up next, I'm going to show you the weakest link that I found so far on this plane. The only con that I can see so far for you as a potential buyer of this is this right here. Look at how little that tail wheel actually moves. And this is with the rudder in high rates, guys. That's not good if you plan on needing, if you fly in a space that's really tight, you need to be able to turn on a dime, like on a paved road with curbs, things like that. So the prescription should be, do not fly it off paved roads in a tight spot, because you're going to have a tough time dealing with that. Overall, this plane is awesome. I really am excited to still fly this plane. These lights are so fantastic, guys. Just those 3 little settings. I love it. But the tail wheel slop. In fact, let me see if I can show that to you. There's just slop there. And I didn't want to over tighten it because they recommend not over tightening it. So just be aware. I'm sure some of you really creative people will figure some stuff out. And overall, everyone's liking the Draco so far anyhow. So with all that being said, check out GBLynden.com, and GBLynden out.